This is a Rides and Drives test drive of the 2021 Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a compact crossover that competes with the Ford Escape, Mazda CX-30, Chevy Trailblazer, and a number of other vehicles. So, 2021 Buick Encore GX. This is not to be confused with the Encore, which is a smaller crossover than this. This is basically the Chevy Trailblazer with a different look on the outside and a little bit more premium experience on the inside. You have the same engines. You've got a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine standard, a 1.3 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine is optional. That's what this vehicle has. And because it's front wheel drive, this is mated to a CVT. Now, if it were all-wheel drive, I'd have a 9-speed automatic transmission in here. You know, the base engine in this makes 137 horsepower. This one is 155, which is plenty for a compact package like this. There's about 180 pound-feet of torque. With front-wheel drive, you get 32 miles per gallon on the highway, 30 around town. So it's a very efficient package. So the Encore GX comes in 3 trim levels. You've got the Preferred, Select, and Essence trim levels. This is the top-of-the-line Essence trim with the special ST package added to it. You know, that just gives you some plastic trim bits on the outside to make the thing look a little sporty. You know, you've got all the features you look for in a compact crossover at the premium grade. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and both those are wireless. You've got Alexa integration, which Buick, of course, is hawking the hell out of in their advertising. This has leather-trimmed heated seats. You've got a leather steering wheel. You've got some pretty nice soft touch surfaces all around. Yeah, there are some plastics here, but they're designed to look pretty good. Big difference between this and the Trailblazer is the amount of sound insulation in here and the active noise cancellation that they put in this, so it rides a little quieter than the Trailblazer. Pricing for the Encore GX starts at about $24,200. This one, which is front-wheel drive with pretty much everything on it, is about $37,000. Overall, it's a nice, tidy package, but you know, it's also just a little confusing to me. I think I'm going to park here and we're going to talk for a minute. All right, let's talk about Buick for a minute. I'm having a little trouble with this vehicle, and not because of anything it has or anything that it does, because it does everything pretty well. It drives fine. It has enough pickup for a compact crossover. It has all the features you expect from a technology and a safety standpoint. You know, adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, lane keep assist. Everything that you would expect is in here, and yet there's nothing about this car that's special or interesting. It's just another crossover, and it doesn't drive in a way that provides any satisfaction. It looks nice, but again, it really fits within all the conventions of the category. And then they put this ST, or they call it Sport Touring package, on this, and it's exactly the kind of stuff I used to hate GM for in the 80s. It's a lot of plastic and trim and other bits added to the outside of the car to make it look sporty. They haven't done anything to make it drive sporty. There's no change in the suspension, no change in the steering. There's no more power under the hood. It's just plastic. And all of that stuff is frustrating to me, because when General Motors got rid of Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Saturn, Hummer, and Saab, I thought that they could then focus on the 3 or 4 brands they had left. They could make Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac stand for something. And while they seem to be doing a better job with Cadillac, I really don't know what the difference is between Chevrolet and Buick. I mean, other than the fact that Buicks are just fancy Chevrolets. And I don't think that's enough in today's market. A lot of people buy Buick because they want to buy an American car. Well, if you buy an Encore GX, you're buying from an American company, but you're not buying an American car. This is assembled in Korea. The engine is assembled in Mexico. It has just 3% of North American parts content. So this is far from an American car. Again, all the arguments that you try to make for Buick, they just don't seem to happen here with this Encore GX. It doesn't provide enough of a premium step up from a Chevrolet. It isn't an American car. It doesn't have that Buick stature, that move up feel that you say, okay, I'm not driving a mainstream car anymore. I'm driving something special. And they've lost that. That's missing in this trim and this nameplate. I haven't driven the Avenir vehicles yet, and maybe those live up to the promise that we hope Buick to be. But as far as the Encore GX goes, it's really just another high trim level mainstream vehicle. Again, this is a fine crossover. It's got plenty of room up front. You've got your XM satellite radio. You can wirelessly attach your phone via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but you know what? I can do that in a Kia. And you can get a lot of these features in a Kia or a Hyundai. So features are not differentiating cars anymore. What really differentiates the cars is how those features are executed. And I don't think Buick has found its voice yet. I don't think they've figured out who they are. And so when you look at this car and you look at the way this is outfitted, and then you look at the price of $37,000, you know, you can buy this car and it's fine. It'll run for you. It'll get you where you want to go. It'll get great fuel economy. But when I look at this category and I look at, say, the Mazda CX-30, I think that's a much more engaging driving experience and an interior that frankly is a little better looking than this. You know, the Ford Escape, when you get it the titanium trim, it's very comparable in price to this, but it again feels like it's another level above this in terms of you have more power, you've got a better driving experience, it'll tow more if that's what you want to do with your small SUV, and again at that titanium trim level, it feels a little nicer than this Buick. I think it's kind of funny. About 10 years ago, I wrote an article and I called Lexus the Buick of Japan. And frankly, I kind of wish now that Buick was the Lexus of America, which, you know, clearly it's not. A lot of people are going to see this review and they're going to say, oh, you're a GM hater, you're a Detroit hater. Well, I grew up in Detroit. I worked on GM advertising for a number of years when I lived in Detroit. I want nothing better than GM and Detroit and Buick and Chevy and Cadillac to succeed. I have friends who work there. I, want them to build a better car. And so that's what I'm asking in this review is figure out what Buick really needs to stand for and build cars that deliver on that promise. So that's the Buick Encore GX. Tell us what you think in the comments. For more information, check out ridesanddrives.com and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. For Rides and Drives, I'm Harvey Briggs, and I'll see you somewhere down the road.